Kevin, it's literally 4 a.m. here. It's freezing in Australia. It's
Right.
currently nearly June, and which means down here where I'm at in my part of the world, it is so cold. But I don't care, pal. We've got two big shows to discuss: King
Yep.
and Queen of the Ring, Double or Nothing. You're here, pal. You've got a setup now.
Yeah.
Anyone watching on YouTube can see it. How you doing,
Oh,
pal?
I'm great, pal. Yeah, it's nice to have my room is finally feels homey now, pal. All this stuff going on. I got the Knicks, pal. Game 7, baby. Game 7 today. I'm recording this about an hour before the Knicks could potentially break my heart. So we got till 3:30. So we got an hour and 8 minutes, pal, to get this recorded before tip off. And I'm excited, bro. Game 7 in the Garden. We haven't had one of those since 1995, since before I was born, before you were born.
Wow.
Man, I'm excited. OG Anunoby's going to play. Josh Hart's going to play. I've had enough. All right, let me stop talking about the Knicks. This is about the King and Queen of the Ring and about AEW Double or Nothing. We're going to preview everything, pal. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you excited for this massive weekend, Memorial Day Wrestling weekend?
Pal, excited as I can be right now, considering I'm literally freezing at 4 a.m. having just woken up. I'm trying, I am here. I'm up and about. I'll be watching both of these shows. Shout out everyone else who will be. Kevin, I think we just.
Well, let me ask you before you go. Let me ask you, pal. Are you running on coffee, Red Bull, Celsius?
Nothing. I woke up. I'm going in raw for this episode of Elite Heat, pal. Kevin, I'm going in raw.
And what's the temperature in Fahrenheit? You said like 0 degrees Fahrenheit.
Keep entertaining our listeners while I pull out.
Jimmy's literally recording this in the middle of an ice age, pal. Australia's about to freeze over, and Jimmy's here making content for us. I mean, it's remarkable. Look at him, pal. He has bedhead. He probably got like 3 hours of sleep. Come on, pal. You got a million things going on, pal. You got your big job.
Pal, it is 32 degrees Fahrenheit where I'm at right now.
Yeah, that's cold. You want to know what it is right now for me? Let me tell you. Let me tell you what it is right now. It's a ferocious 92 degrees.
Bruh.
Very ferocious, pal. And it's sunny, not a cloud in the sky, pal. Sunny South Florida.
Okay. You're rubbing it in, pal. With that being said, pal, King and Queen of the Ring.
Yes.
2024. I must say, just before we get into any of the matches, I found it a bit weird in like the Cody and Logan Paul promos, because Cody is obviously the good company guy. He says the right things. When he's promoting the match, going, what? He's yelling at Logan, a king and queen of the ring. Like, it sounds weird, but anyway, pal, which match do you want to start us off with? King and Queen of the Ring 2024. Where do you want to begin?
But let's start with the women's title match. And that is Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan. So when I look at this match, right, I see on the discourse on the internet, it's like, oh, Liv must win. Liv must win. And I'm like, why? Why does Liv need to win? Now, I get it. Everybody hates Becky Lynch now. Like, it's a cool thing now to hate her. But Liv Morgan, like, no disrespect to all the Liv Morgan fans out there. I don't think Liv Morgan is really that good. I don't think she's, like, at that next tier where, like, I'm fiending for a championship run from her. I mean, she's not that impressive in the ring. She's not that impressive on the mic. She's just really good at both things. And nothing really that she does stands out. I mean, she has a look. That seems to be what part of her draw, right? Is her look. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. What do you think, pal? I mean, Rhea Ripley getting injured really shook up the women's division, and now we're here. I think, but honestly, I do think we need a Liv Morgan as champion. I think it's just better than Becky at this stage. Yeah. Becky Lynch at like 40 years old, running around saying she's the man. It's not cutting it, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, you saw, and most of the listeners were saying all the Becky Hogan stuff, where when she won the title initially, everyone's like, oh, look at her burying talent. Oh, Becky, boo. And it's like, I like Becky. I think Becky is, I call her, like I say, she's legitimately very good. And she's one of the all-time great women's wrestlers. Where she ranks, it's up to debate. I think she's the best female wrestler ever. That's my view. But everyone's, some people have a top 3, top 5. People who aren't fans really have her like top 10 for female wrestlers of all time, whatever. She's objectively very good. But when it comes to this, they're clearly setting up this whole Liv Morgan storyline with her taking everything Rhea Ripley had and all this. So Liv Morgan's going to win this match from a preview and a predictions point of view. How the match is the match any good? How does Liv Morgan just pin Becky clean, pal? I don't know. But at the end of this match, I see Liv Morgan standing tall with the title, probably looking down the camera. So look at this, Rhea. Ha ha ha. Whatever. Just to set up when Mummy comes back and can just like destroy her in 5 minutes at SummerSlam or whenever, however early she can come back. But yeah, I think Becky's not going to win this match. It seems like she's a clear transitional champion. They put it on her right away when Rhea got injured. It's like, okay, oh God, what do we do? What do we do? Becky, because she's reliable, which is good. I mean, I'd rather they do Becky and have her take the title once Rhea got hurt than have, I don't know, someone else. So yeah, that's my preview, pal. What do you think?
All right, I've got 2 questions for you.
Yep, go for
These
it.
are hard-hitting, ruthless questions. First question. For you as an Australian man, right? I'm going to ask you this as an Australian man of heritage, okay? Rhea Ripley, what is her timeline for this injury? Like 7 months, 8 months, right? For the shoulder injury. Now, hypothetically, right? Let's just just pretend she's going to be out for 10 months, right? We'll just throw it at that. Because either one of us, we're not pretending to be like we know all the facts here. Let's just say estimated she's going to be out for 10 months.
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley has to vacate the title immediately, right? But Roman Reigns, he can sit at home and just babysit children for 5-6 months at a time and not defend the title. Do you feel that this is something against Australian talent, pal? Do you think if Rhea Ripley was Samoan, do you think she'd be able to sit at home with the championship and nurse an injury? You think if she was related to The Rock, per se?
Pal, you think if she had a personal rider like Brian Gorowitz, pal, she'd be able to get away with it? I don't know. Look, I think there's an element of truth to that, potentially. If this happened at WrestleMania 39 to Roman Reigns, he'd be able to get through to the next WrestleMania still with the title. They'd find a way. But, yeah, obviously not ideal. Rhea Ripley's hurt herself. Maybe it was a blessing in disguise for her career in a way. I think she's going to come back as a monstrous babyface, I think, when Rhea Ripley returns. So we'll see. But it's a very provocative question, pal. Very blunt, very blistering question. But yeah.
I got one more.
Uh-oh.
So now
pal's an Australian man of heritage, pal.
So now you said that Liv Morgan is taking everything from Rhea, right? Now that includes Dominic Mysterio. Possibly. Now, do you think that we'll see some sort of celebration featuring Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio after Liv Morgan's championship win? But what are the odds, pal, that, we're going back to TV 14 on Netflix, pal? Nick Khan, Paul Levesque, all the great talents, Bruce Pritchard, the ghost of John Laurinaitis, the ghost of Vince McMahon. they cook up a storyline, pal, a very raunchy storyline between the two.
Oh. Pal, imagine. Look, we'll realistically have them. I doubt it. But they're probably gonna do more of this stuff where, Liv Morgan walked out of the locker room. Is that the CCTV camera footage? Is that Dom? Look, a little bit of Dom's bandana is in Rhea Ripley's. Oh, not Rhea Ripley's. Liv Morgan's like a little jean short pocket poking out, pal. All that sort of stuff. But yeah, do I see a live celebration in the middle of the ring, pal, on Monday Night Raw? Probably not. I don't think the sponsors will be thrilled by that. But then again, some of the things The Rock's said and done the past 4 months, it seems like it doesn't matter anymore. That's The Rock, pal. He can do whatever he wants. So, yeah, maybe not, pal. But as an Australian man of culture, pal, it is devastating that Rhea Ripley, who is out for 6, 8, 10 months, has to vacate the title. But if Rhea Ripley's name was Arthur Ripley, she'd be able to do that. So,
all right, pal. All right, enough of the goofiness.
All right,
let's talk
next match. I want to talk about this one: Sami Zayn, Chad Gable, Bronson Reed. Look, I like the whole element with Sami Zayn and Chad Gable in this. Even as an Australian man of culture, I still don't really care about Bronson Reed.
Wow.
I still don't care.
Wow.
The Sami Zayn and Gable stuff is legitimately good. I like what Gable's doing. I think this is the best stuff he's done in his career. Yes, he was Shorty G. Yes, he was, full goofy Alpha Academy with Otis. And yes, he's, always been linked to, oh, pal, he needs to come out and have a storyline with Kurt Angle, his dad, pal, or, people saying stuff like that. Forget about it. What they're doing right now is actually good. Like, I watch the backstage segments, and he's just shouting at, like, every Alpha Academy. He's shouting at people backstage, being like, you let me down. You're useless. You need to win your match. You failed because your footwork wasn't good enough. F you. You suck. All this sort of stuff. Sami Zayn is just here for the ride, pal. He's just the IC champion. It was your classic. He beats Gunther. It's the big babyface moment. And now he's just the champion. And it's like, okay, Sami's champion, I guess. Cool. I'd like to see Chad Gable win the title. That's my view on this. Sami Zayn as champion at this stage does nothing for me. The moment was great at WrestleMania, but there's nothing real. There's no substance here as of right yet for me to say, yes, Sami needs to be champion for 8 months, long reign, let Gable have the title. He deserves something. I think have Gable win this match. Will he win? Probably not. What's about Sami Zayn pins Bronson Reed off like a haluva kick? But yeah, pal, that's my view. What do you think?
Yeah, I pretty much echo everything you said there. Sami Zayn is Intercontinental Champion, and like it is what it is. I think he deserves it. I will say that Sami Zayn has been on an incredible run over the past 2 years. So it's good to see him get some shine. It's good to see him get some pay-per-view matches. The Intercontinental Championship's actually on a pay-per-view or PLE. Wow, crazy. But let's talk about this just for a moment. What do you think about like how do I phrase this? Like the fact that each PLE has like 5 matches now, and like a lot of people are left off the card usually. We get one mid-card title, if that. Get tag team championships very rarely defended. What do you think? Do you think it's a good thing that it makes the Raw and SmackDown matches feel more important when those titles are defended on Raw and SmackDown? I kind of lean towards that. I think it's better to have shorter pay-per-views, and it does feel important. But I would like to see an effort to be made for at least like the Intercontinental Championship to be defended more. I think maybe I'm just a traditionalist, and I love that title.
No, it's a good point. I mean, I think the pros of what they're doing right now is that, yeah, when the show is on the air, it's going to be maybe 2 hours, 45 minutes, 3 hours. It's not going to go like 5.5 hours like the shows literally did 5 years ago, where they'd put like 15 matches on these shows and you'd literally be falling asleep. I know for you, pal, it's like 11:20 p.m. They're rolling out some like co-main event undercard match, and you're like, why is this happening? Put this on Monday Night Raw. So I'm happy it's not that inside the thing. So you are, so is everyone. But I get what you're saying. Like, some of these shows, like with Elimination Chamber, when I was watching it in Perth, pal, I'm like, can there be like 1 or 2 more matches? There's like 4 matches on this show, and then they added a kickoff match. I was like, is this it? But yeah, I see what you're saying. But yeah, I guess pal, this is the Triple H NXT Takeover format, pal. I guess wrestlers have to earn selection for PLEs, pal. Have to earn selection, earn their minutes, pal.
Like Tom Thibodeau, pal.
Pal, just like their Knicks players, the Tom Thibodeau, pal. You got to earn your minutes, and if you're the top star like Cody or Jalen Brunson, you get the full 48 minutes every show. So there you go.
There it is, pal. Yeah. So yeah, I think Sami Zayn's gonna win. I would like to see Chad Gable win it. I think it would be fun. It'd be a good little story. That doesn't need to happen yet. I suppose they could do that at a later date. But yeah, I mean, there's not really much to say about that one.
Well, yeah, but one more thing before we move on. I'd like to say if I had the pen pal, Gable pins Bronson Reed to win the title. Then you have the whole storyline being like, Gable is he goes from like dickhead to like mega dickhead. Now he's IC champion. He thinks he's got all the power in the world. He's walking around. He's yelling, F you. You suck. I'm the champion. Your footwork's bad. You can't wrestle. You have it. He's just being an asshole to everyone. He's just being a dickhead. Sami Zayn's like, okay, first off, Chad, you pinned Bronson Reed. You didn't even pin me, clown. I want my rematch for the title the next pay-per-view. Actually beat me. You haven't beaten anyone. You've beaten Bronson Reed, this giant Australian who barely wins matches. So pin me at the next pay-per-view, Chad, and then they can set that up for the next show. I guess that's how I do it, but there you go.
Good, pal. All right, so now let's talk about the Queen of the Ring tournament final, pal. So the final 4, it's Nia Jax, Bianca Belair. They're gonna wrestle, I believe on Raw or SmackDown. No, SmackDown, yeah. And then on Raw, it's gonna be Io Sky and Lyra Valkyria. Is that how you say it? Valkyria?
Yeah, Valkyria. That's how I say it. Valkyria.
Yeah, Valkyria. Yeah. So I think it's gonna be Bianca Belair and Io Sky. That seems like the clear match to do. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if the people of Saudi Arabia really want to see Nia Jax in a feature spot. I don't think anybody wants to see Nia Jax and Miss Lyra Valkyria. No disrespect to either one of them.
No disrespect. No one wants to see it. No disrespect.
Yeah, I'm like Mark Jackson. With all due respect to these lovely women. So Bianca Belair, Io Sky. That's just a match to make. If I had the pencil, I think that's what we'll see. I think Bianca Belair is a shoe-in here to win this. I mean, she's the biggest star in the whole thing left. The whole thing in the Final Four. She's one of the biggest women's female stars in the company, if not the biggest. So why not give her something special? Will she come out with a robe now for 9 months, pal? As Queen Bianca, will she have Montez Ford kissing her feet on segments on SmackDown? Are we going to throw it back to the 1980s, pal? Who knows? I actually would not be against that. I think that would be kind of funny if we got like a ridiculous over-the-top Queen of the Ring character from Bianca.
I wouldn't mind if that leads her to, gradually start to become more arrogant and gradually turn on Jade Cargill down the line. If she's just like, I'm the queen, and she has people, bowing down to her during entrances, like you have like Queen Belair entrances. She has the crown on, and she's got the piggy tail, and she's doing like, all that sort of business. I think that'd be cool. I must say, shout out. I love what they do on SmackDown with this like Queen of the Ring women stuff. For the starters, that Nia Jax Jade Cargill match was hilarious. I love that, like Jade Cargill's daughter's in the front row, and then she's like yelling out, "Yeah, boo, boo!" Nia just slams Jade to the floor, and then Nia Jax is like, "Your mom sucks."
Yeah, that was great.
That's the sort of content I show to people. Everyone just finds entertaining. That's just funny. Nia Jax is like this monster heel screaming at a child, pal. Really good match. So yeah, that sets us up with this, pal. I agree. I think Io Sky is definitely going to be representing Raw, pal, representing the Raw bracket in Saudi, because it's Io Sky, pal. Triple H loves Io Sky.
Yeah.
And then I think it's going to be Bianca Belair. Io Sky's just been champion for like a year, so she doesn't need to have this accolade as well. Let Bianca Belair do something, just so Bianca Belair is not just floating around the SmackDown card, whatever. Like, I know she's SmackDown Women's Tag Champion, but give her this as well. Have her start to have something different to Jade Cargill. Start to get them a little bit of tension. You can plant seeds, pal. You can have them all. I won the Queen of the Ring. You didn't. Whatever. And then you can have some people, and WWE on Twitter, WWE on Fox, WWE on CBS, WWE on TNT, on Twitter, posting the clips. Like the eye emoji, or whatever. I can say it, pal. Yeah. Bianca Belair wins this. All those have Io win because they're trying to rack up Io's resume to make her the GOAT. Either way, should be good.
So, all right, now for the men's King of the Ring bracket, we have an interesting Final Four. Randy Orton and Tama Tonga on SmackDown. Then Gunther versus Jey Uso on Raw. Mm-hmm. Now, my mind is telling me, yes, Randy Orton versus Gunther, like, that's the biggest match you could possibly do on this pay-per-view, on this PLE. I don't think we've seen Gunther versus Randy Orton. I'm pretty sure we've never seen that before. Maybe on a house show in Kentucky or something. Randy Orton wrestled Gunther that I am not aware of, but on television or PLE, I don't think we've seen it.
Bruh.
I don't think we've seen it, so that's what I want to see. Can I see Jey Uso versus Tama Tonga? And we got Solo Sikoa and Paul Heyman crying, and Roman Reigns on FaceTime yelling directions at Tama Tonga. Yeah, I can see that too.
Yeah.
Do I want to see that? Not more than I want to see Gunther and Randy Orton. And I just think Gunther, he fits the King of the Ring persona. It did pretty well on William Regal, who was European. Sheamus, I guess maybe some modern fans love Sheamus as King of the Ring. I don't know. But Gunther just has that persona of, like, I could see him taking it very serious. Like, yeah, I'm the best in this ring. This crown means I'm the best, pal. I'm the ring general.
Yeah. So, yeah. No, I agree totally. I think that they're going to have Gunther win. That's my feeling. What I will say, though, I'm going to mount the case, pal, for something that probably won't happen. But I think it's like Jey Uso. Let's just be fair. So he's been now main eventing Jey Uso for a few years. Right. It's not like a new thing. He's wrestled a number of world championship matches. He faced Damian Priest, the world title Backlash. He faced Roman Reigns in the SummerSlam main event, pal. He's wrestled on a bunch of big matches. His resume at the moment, you still can't tell he's a main event anything. He's got his tag title reigns with Jimmy Uso, and what? He won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal 3 years ago, and he had a tag title little 1 month run with Cody last September. That's all Jey Uso's really done if you look at his Wikipedia. I know he's now biggest selling team, great reactions and whatever, but what has he got to show for it in a meaningful capacity? He's 0-4, I think, in his big main event matches. So main event Jey Uso can't win a main event match. So that's a fraudulent nickname. He pinned Roman Reigns, yes, okay. And what else? So if they do the Jey Uso Tama Tonga route and have Jey Uso, pin the other side of his bloodline, and you have that they can see Paul Heyman sobbing on Skype. You got the Roman Reigns barking at Paul Heyman on the phone. I can see if they went that route, I can see it. But yeah, Gunther's probably going to win realistically. So I won't waste too much more of my breath mounting the Jey Uso case, pal. But yeah, I think a guy who's named main event anything, you look at his resume, he's literally just still a tag team guy. He's done nothing, really. So
he sells t-shirts, pal.
Great. Cool.
That's what he does. Okay, so yeah, so we're both in unison agreeing that Gunther should win.
Yeah.
Now it's main event time, pal. Cody Rhodes versus the influencer, the king of YouTube, the biggest podcaster in the world, pal, the founder of Prime, boxer and celebrity personality, pal, Logan Paul. This is going to be an interesting match. This is going to be interesting. I don't know what to make of this. This is one that, you could show people and they're like, oh, okay, this is cool. Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes, big time main event. Then other people look at it like, yeah, I hate Logan Paul. I don't want to watch anything that he's involved with. So this is really, I don't know. If we talked about this already, in the last week's show, that this kind of felt like it came out of nowhere. And I mean, when was Backlash? 3 weeks ago, right?
About that, yep.
So what do you make of this? Do you think that Cody and Logan would have been better if they had a little bit more time to develop a story? Maybe Cody didn't need to perform at this pay-per-view. They could have put some more cachet into the King and the Queen of the Ring, and they did Cody and Logan at the next one.
That's what I think, to be honest. I think they should have made this really, the main event is the King of the Ring, the co-main event is the Queen of the Ring. That is what this show's all about, and then you have a bunch of the mid-card titles on display here. That's what I think they do. Then again, there's probably money and there's probably hearsay from the Saudi higher ups. Hey, we want a Cody match. We want Logan Paul, and then Triple H probably we'll just do Cody Logan Paul then. Sure, here you go. That's probably what's happened here. Realistically, I think this should have waited at least another month. The storyline we've got so far. I mean, we discussed some of this last week. Nick Aldis is hey, Cody, your challenge is Logan Paul, and then they do a little face off, and then they did the contract signing on SmackDown, pal, which was a little bit of a mess. I must be objective here. A bit of a mess. Logan Paul's sitting there with his PR team, and there's 6 of these backslappers, these clowns, these goons. Oh, Logan, we love you, Logan. And Logan's Cody Rhodes, I'm going to win the championship. Sign my contract. Not the WWE one. Sign my contract, Cody. And Cody's I fight out of honor, hustle, loyalty, and respect, Nation, Cody Rhodes. And then he says, I'm going to put you and make you fall in line at Queen and King of the Ring in Saudi Arabia, Logan. I'm okay, sure. Match is going to be an absolute car wreck. This screams more WrestleMania 40 main events versus Backlash. So it's not going to be a clean match by any means. This is going to be a circus of interference. This is going to be I Show Speed, KSI in a Prime bottle. You'll have some podcaster with 5 million subs showing up. You'll have George Janko ringside, and you'll have people on Twitter. Long-term storytelling, pal. George Janko quit Impulsive. I can see it now. There's going to be a lot to this. Cody Rhodes will just win the match in the end through a heap of BS, retain his title, pal. The reign of Rhodes marches on. But yeah, a bit random, happening a bit early, only happening because the Saudi Prince wants Logan Paul and Cody on the same card. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, the match, the in-ring quality would be good. Similar with what we saw at Backlash with Cody and AJ, the match was good. 5-star match. I'm sure this will be a 4.5 star. That's the I guess the ceiling, maybe. I don't know. I think it'll be a good match. Go ahead.
Pal, when I look at this on paper, this screams like a Roman Reigns title defense.
Yeah.
You know who's going to win.
Yep.
You know it's going to be 17 minutes of a good match and then 5 minutes of absolute BS and shenanigans. That's what this is. And that was the Roman Reigns formula, which gave him a 4-year title reign. This, I'm interested to see how Cody plays this off, because probably what will happen is there'll be a ref bump. You'll have Logan Paul, his whole PR team, his goons. They'll come in with brass knuckles, be punching Cody. Cody be dead on the ground, like, you know, like He'll be selling his beat down. Cody will have he'll have a wounded pec. He'll be bleeding.
Oh
you know, really selling his. I Show Speed will be in the ring barking at Cody. Then all of a sudden, Cody comes back to life, pal. Whoa! He crossroads I Show Speed.
Hulk Hogan.
Crossroads KSI. He does 3 on Logan Paul, pins him. That's the match, or something like that. I don't know.
It'd be like Hulk Hogan, pal. He's gonna Hulk up and you and hit him with the elbow, and yeah. All right, pal.
Yeah.